This is the BlahCade Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Freebus, a.k.a. Shut Your Trap. Joining me, as always, halfway across the world, is Jared Morgs.
Hey, everyone. How you going?
Well, now, wasn't that an exciting interview, Jared?
It was indeed. there was plenty of stuff.
Right? That was good. It took us a long while to get a hold of Mel. We literally have been trying to arrange something. We were going to have just a VR episode with him back in the summer.
Yes. It was actually back in the summer.
Yeah. We just could not get things aligned. And then when he finally was like, well, how about these weekends? We were like, well, by that point, we might as well just do the end of the year show. So, yeah.
Yep. And we ended up doing exactly that because it's like, no, we'll grab Mel while Mel is grabbable.
Yeah, because
we'll just go and get this done.
I was gonna say getting him like 2 months in a row would be just asking way too much.
No way. There's just no way that we would have done that.
Before we get rolling with anything, I just want to give a huge shout out to our audience. We passed the 1,000 subscribers mark, which it only took us,
10 years?
14 years? I don't know. We've been doing this since 2012.
Yeah.
So,
here's a good case study in organic growth because we weren't pushing anything at all. We were just going, we weren't doing any sort of weird, Patreon stuff or like and subscribe and ring that bell sort of garbage. We were just doing what we do and letting the numbers speak for themselves, and here they are.
Which actually works out for us because then when we check out viewership, most of our viewership is from subscribers. So it's like, it's almost truer numbers than anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yes, thanks so much everyone for coming along the ride.
Yeah, so on that line, I think this is episode 295, so we're really close to 300. We're trying to think of what special to do for episode 300, and something that we have not done in an incredibly long time is a live stream.
Yeah, we haven't either.
No. So I think that's what our goal is. We're going to have to figure out our technical end here because I'm trying to think when we last did a live stream, were we doing Google Hangouts or was it what was that program that we really enjoyed that they shuttered? Do you remember that?
It was, yes, we were mostly using Hangouts, I think.
Yeah, but prior to Hangouts.
Oh, yeah, I can't even remember that.
I don't know. There was this one format that we were using that was like really great, really easy to use, and I'm pretty sure we were doing some streaming while doing that. And then
they discontinued it.
Yeah. And then I think we did a stream where we were like, should we have said that live? And so then we were like, let's not do live streams anymore.
Yeah. We kind of we had that. We have no dump button when we're doing these things. So we went that adds a layer of complexity.
Yeah.
And we have to watch our P's and Q's, and that wasn't really the vibe of the show. So we sort of discontinued. So what sort of things do you want to see? Do you want to see us doing it live so you can interact live? Do you want to see us stream a VR game and me yabber on while I'm doing it? Or like what do you want? What do you want to see?
Should it be just open forum and y'all ask us questions? We don't know. We don't know what it is.
We can have like office hours, BlahCade office hours.
Just know it'll wind up being on a Saturday, probably around the 3:30 p.m. hour Pacific.
And around the 9 a.m. Sunday time slot if you're in the Australia place.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the large island.
That's we would love to have an audience for this when that comes. So be on the lookout. Again, this is 295, so there'll still be 4 more episodes after this before we get to that point.
So you get a couple of times.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time to sort it out.
Maybe by then we'll have some good content from Zen to discuss. Because what we're not going to do this episode, we're not going to do speculation. We're going to save that for another episode. But we did want to talk about the interview, specifically what you all, or I shouldn't say you all, what other shows took from our interview, and what I'm surprised people didn't comment on at all. So, yeah, there was a couple of things where I was just like, really, we did 45 minutes of Mel, and everybody's focusing on 5.
Yeah, very interesting. So let's unpack that, eh?
Let's unpack that. So let's here. Let me set the stage a little bit, just so that we can clear up some things. Both of us obviously are playing in VR. We've got that X Arcade there, so we do play in VR. Jared does not have a digital cabinet. I do. I have both the AtGames Legends 4K cabinet, and now I have this new old Star Wars cabinet from Pinball Factory that I'm trying to go through. So I'm playing flatball on cabinets. Jared is not. So I do have experience with AtGames, and have been in contact with not the way that I don't have the same contacts that the influencer people do, but I do have a person at AtGames that I'm able to make contact with. So I just want to clarify that, because there was some question that I saw in a couple of shows where they're like, I don't know if Chris actually has this or not, because I've never done a stream of me playing on that cabinet. I have made videos about the cabinet, but I don't feel like making that whole rig that goes around the cabinet and camera pointing down, and no.
Yeah. It's a bit weird to do it. I mean, sure. I mean, it's great when people stream and they do that whole rig, because it does look great. But there's a lot of cameras. You got a lot of scenes to set up. It's like, I see what happens in when they're doing tournament streaming for BPAC. It's a massive rig. It's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot.
The other thing I want to clarify, when we talk to Mel, and again, we've been doing this for quite a few years now with discussing with him, we do know and get a sense of what Mel is willing to talk about and what Mel either isn't willing to talk about or plain won't know the answer to. So I know that, and that goes for the entire interview, where if there's any questions that we didn't ask and you were like, why didn't they ask that? It's literally because we knew either we weren't going to get an answer out of him, or that there's no use asking him because he's going to go, I don't know that.
Mostly dev-related questions. Yeah. We've gone down this path before, and he really does try his best to answer them, but he usually has to go, look, I'd have to check with the devs on that. And I mean, that doesn't make for great content when you're doing interviews. No. So we avoid them. We did, like, for the record though, when we were going down the path of doing the VR interview only, there were a bunch of developer questions that we had in the Q&A doc that we show Mel before we do a recording. So they were there. It's just we had to like cut out some of the more deeper dive ones. And I still really want to get those questions answered. And to an extent, some of those questions have already been answered on the Pinball FX Discord by folks like Hard Rock. So there were some in there that I noticed about performance and rooms and stuff like that have actually already been addressed if you're soaking in Discord. So yeah, those ones were definitely cut. And there was a few sort of broader dev ones that I think we were able to slip in there, but they were more general in nature rather than deep dives. So yes, we had to chop them. I didn't want to, but we have to know the limits.
Yeah. Also, we'd have to keep the interview contained to under an hour. And the minute we start diving into some of those questions, it goes way long, and it's like,
oh yeah,
we got to get value for the question.
Jam-packed content.
Yeah,
it was like 45 minutes of jam-packed content.
Yeah. So let's go.
Mel has hard stops, because he's got other meetings to go to. So we can't really run over.
Yeah. So let's go into those with the AtGames questions. We haven't personally heard much from Zen regarding AtGames for a little while, and so I knew that there was some possible tensions that's going on, but it's also possible tensions that I've been, I read some of the forums that go on regarding AtGames and whatever behind the scenes other people have thrown out there that aren't even Zen related. It's just AtGames company related. So I knew it was going to be a little bit of a touchy subject, because if things are on uneven feet, let's say at games, then that translates also to how Zen is going to be dealing with that. So I know that there was a comment here or there about, oh, Chris was leading the question, and it's like, well, yeah, because I didn't want to just get stiffed. I did want a response. Were we expecting the response we got from Mel, where it was just the physical body language? No.
Oh, everything about it was unhappiness.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too, where again we know him well enough that it's like, okay, that is a let's move on.
Yeah,
because otherwise that might just end the interview.
Yeah, if we start to dig deeper and we're probing him for question, I know that everyone probably wanted more answers than they got from that segment of the interview.
I think we got more than we expected.
But the reason why Mel comes back onto our show is because we know when to back off.
Yeah.
And we know when to delve in. And it's mostly out of respect for him. We don't want him to be forced into a position where he has to say something he doesn't want to say, because that's the reason why he doesn't come on to other shows.
Yeah.
So we want that relationship to be preserved. So it's really important to us, and you know, be unhappy about it, but we're not going to change because we need to do it.
The other thing is to understand that, and we know this, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes action, a lot of negotiations that go on constantly with all the companies that Zen deals with. So whenever Mel starts getting hesitant in any of these topics, you can usually go, something's brewing, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to derail what is happening and stuff. The other question that has kind of popped up, and this is all related to this new AtGames cabinet that's the HD Plus or something like that. It's this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet. What's that?
What's the story of that thing?
Yeah, so what this cabinet is, everybody's calling it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles table because that's what is skinned with it right now, and it's available at Sam's Club. And what it is it's much like the regular HD cabinet was, but it's got a 1080p screen. It's not a 4K main screen. It still has the back glass screen, but now it also has the DMD screen. So they did add that. So it's an improvement from what the HD machine was. The other main improvement is that they're now using also the same rock chip board that's in the 4KP.
Which is still underpowered. But
in theory could run Zen tables, which is why the AtGames press releases are saying this could run. We're in negotiation. We're talking to Zen about, and specifically the language that they're saying is about putting select Zen tables into this.
You mean the ones that will actually run on their underpowered hardware?
It's the same underpowered hardware that's running the 4KP. So I mean, that's not going to be any different, right? And let's put a pin in the underpowered thing for a moment. We'll circle back to that. I'm just trying to tell you what the cabinet is, Jared. In theory, though, with it being only a 1080p screen and not having to drive so much more, there's every intention that might be powered enough to run the Zen stuff at a higher frame rate.
1080p, I think it would be easily.
Yeah,
it would be jaggy. I mean, we've seen what it looks like on a 1080.
Yeah. And I've seen videos of people have done direct comparisons of Zaccaria tables side by side on the cabinets, showing here's what it looks like here, here's what it looks like here. And sure enough, you zoom in, obviously the pixels are larger on a 1080p, so it's going to make things look a little bit, jaggier than the 4K.
But I mean, it's all about frame rate, right? Like if the frame rate is there, then you're going to look past the jagginess.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fine.
But back to the press release that AtGames put out, where they were saying, and again, I note it says select Zen titles. that they're hoping to bring to the platform.
So there's the word hope
and select.
There's the word select. Okay,
because
so it's not a done deal.
A, I don't think it's a done deal. B, all we have to do is look to last year AtGames making announcements that didn't come true. Just because AtGames says it doesn't mean that it's a done deal. I.e., Star Wars tables coming to the 4KP. We were supposed to have every single one of them, 19 of them. Or, no, is it 19 or is there even more? No, there's a couple more. 21. They made the announcement, and those were supposed to come out last February. Bupkis, there ain't nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that AtGames has sometimes jumped the gun before the ink is there, and I don't know if it's more about, well, if we put it out there, it'll come. And then Zen goes, yeah, but realize that it ain't just up to us. It's also up to these other IP holders. So if I had to guess what the select means, we're talking about Zen Originals.
Yeah, I would think so.
Now, Star Wars is also a Zen Original, but I think they're more in control. Yeah, they're more in control of the Zen Originals than they are, let's say, of putting Williams titles on this. And the Williams titles are the ones that are more problematic on the 4KP than the Zen Originals.
They take a little bit more overhead to emulate, therefore they put stress on the system.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, nothing is done, but if I had to judge Mel's body language with regard to the whole topic, I think it's still very much in flux in terms of contract negotiations for this machine. Now, do I think that there's a problem with Zen coming out on the 4KP going forward? No, I don't. I think they're already putting the content out there. I think Zen very much wants their content on many platforms as they possibly can.
That's their overarching strategy. More platforms equals more money, equals the studio sustains.
Yeah. So. And they understand that there is a fan base out there, 100%. So I just think that when it came to, and this was the other thing when I was asking about, pushing for the backlash and stuff, and, in our previous interview, Mel had said, he was very high on AtGames and that there was a lot of potential. And so it's like, well, none of the potential got realized, so what's up with that? And I think that's where it comes from, the rock chip being underpowered, and maybe Zen was trying to force AtGames' hand and say, hey, kick it up. Let's put in a stronger thing, and then we can do these things. And so they might have been at loggerheads. I don't know.
Yeah, there might have been some stuff going on, but we don't really know because it's all, behind the scenes stuff.
But I do know that, and I saw this on various comments on various videos, including ours, where people were like, would I rather have an animated backlash or would I rather have more Williams and more Zen on the 4KP? And everybody's like, more of that, please.
Yeah, more content will be good.
More content. So, and honestly, I don't think they're wrong,
That's
especially when I'm playing in VR.
I mean, it's like, what's the point of having a cabinet if you can't play anything on it? So, content. Yeah. It's king.
So keep on purchasing those packs, and Zen will be like, cool, you want them? We'll give them.
That's right.
All right, so that's the AtGames portion. What I'm surprised that nobody was really talking about is any of the hints that Mel was delivering towards what's coming up. Now, this will go into our speculation episode that we'll be doing soon, but no? Y'all didn't have guesses of what maybe he's hinting about? Kind of shocking.
There's been a little bit of discussion over on Discord about some things, but
yeah, but I'm talking about the other YouTubers out there that were highlighting our video. That nobody was pulling from that. Like I said, everything was AtGames related on those other videos. Nobody was really pulling from elsewhere in the interview. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe they like to leave it to us to speculate instead of making guesses themselves.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But anyway, and this goes back to our subscriber base here. again, thank you for the quick views on that video and the appreciation it seemed that for us getting that interview out. And as always, we're wildly thankful that Mel was able to take the time out and talk to us, because it's a good time whenever we can.
Yep, everyone loves it. So do we.
Yeah.
So, yeah. May
All
continue.
Right. Now continue. Okay, let's get off of this end and let's talk about the title of our video. So this happened. What we tried recording this about a month and a half ago, I think.
Yeah, in November sometime.
Yeah, you may have tuned in for the video and you may have seen me yank it off really quick because none of my audio worked.
It was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah. No point in posting that if I should really check these things before I post them. Anyway, I was talking to Jared, and Jared one day goes, "Hey, guess what I got?" And I went, "I don't know." And, well, Jared, take it away.
Yeah, I said, "Oh, I just happened to, just buy a haunted house in a black hole."
What?
Just sort of fell into my garage, and yeah. So
and I was like, "And you didn't get rid of any machines?"
No, I know.
No, just added to his collection.
I just bought more. I had holes in the garage that I needed filling. They were empty slots because I've got 3 machines on location. They're not moving. So
they're earning. They're helping you pay for new machines.
Yeah, well, yes, they are helping me pay for new machines, which is kind of nice. I mean, certainly not the 2 machines that I bought. Not quite that much earning potential, but look, they're certainly covering any parts and maintenance I've got to do on the fleet, which is that's pretty good.
Now, just as a reminder, Jared's previous machines, they all came from what, Jared?
Oh, they came from a crate from Africa, the plains of Africa, literally the plains of Africa.
That was rather waterlogged.
Well, it was waterlogged only because the container, when they got it back to Australia, leaked like a sieve, and they left them sitting in water, so they rotted. But yeah, they were pretty garbage, actually, and I had to spend a lot of money getting them up to the point where they were playable and award-winning, because one of them was award-winning. It did take out an award for best solid state. So these ones did not have that problem. They were not container jobs. I could tell. I looked at them and these were not from that container.
But they were also significantly more expensive than what you spent on the container ones.
They were definitely not the $1,250 each I paid for the container jobs. An interesting aside, though, I actually there is one of my Pink Panther that I've done up is on location at the moment over in Maruka Bowls, and another guy was selling a Pink Panther project, and it was 1,500 Australian. So I paid 1,250 for mine.
Okay,
1,500 Australian. And everyone was going, "Oh, look, it's another Pink Panther. You should buy it." I was like, they were absolutely coming to me going, "You've done one of these before. What am I getting myself into?" And I went, "Oh, budget about $5,000. And then you'll have something that will actually work properly." And this is $5,000 Australian.
Yeah.
Because we have to pay the 40% and sometimes 50% Aussie tax on our rubbish exchange rate when we're importing stuff from overseas.
Because did you buy a new back glass, or yours is original?
Yeah, I bought a new back glass.
So yeah, you bought a new back glass. You changed out all the boards, or
all the boards are now with Pascal PI80s, and the pop boards and the sound board are all Pascal boards. Because you don't restore these. I mean, some people do, and they're very good at it. But I had a really bad experience with Star Race. And I vowed never to do it again.
Yeah.
To try and fix up boards.
So what you're saying is, realistically, these 2 new machines cost the same as what your other machines were after you put in the money.
Well, yeah, to an extent. I mean, they don't need, the back glasses are fine enough. They're not like flaking away when you look at them. There's a little bit of art off them, but certainly not enough to throw them out and put a new one in. the light shines through them nicely. They look good. There's not really a problem with them, so they're fine. Playfields, I'm actually even debating whether I do my usual clear coat on them because the factory mylar has held up pretty well. There's a little bit of wood off here and there, but it's hardly even worth doing anything to them at this stage. Like they're not bad enough.
Yeah.
I've got a brand new, included with Black Hole was a brand new Perspex mini playfield cover. So I've installed that with the rubber gussets that allow you to get the height right and everything. So there's no jump balls, and a new plastic set.
Wow.
Like unobtainium plastic set. I went, shut up and take my money. Like it's like it's good. I mean, the plastics on there at the moment are not terrible at all. Like they're in pretty good condition. But yellow.
For which machine was this?
Black Hole.
Black Hole. Okay.
Yeah, the on Haunted House, the only plastic that is missing is the usual one that's over the disappearing target area in the direct middle of the playfield. So it's just, it gets hammered, and it's got like this sort of like, it looks like it's like paper and laminated, or it's like something paper that's been put over the top of a Perspex sheet and then clear coated or something. It's definitely not original, but it's still got the art on it and it looks fine, but you just can't get that plastic anymore. So it's like, it's fine. It doesn't affect gameplay, so it doesn't really matter.
So that got me thinking, though. I was just like, okay, Jared, you've now got a garage full of Gottlieb. At this point, I told him he just needs a Gottlieb neon sign and put that thing up, because
yeah, I'm looking for one. I'll probably get one. Yeah, probably will. The problem is, though, that I've lost a slot in my garage wall because I now have a solar battery there, taking up one slot. So I've got like solar panels on the roof, and then a big square box with bollards around it now that charges up during the day, and then I suck the power from it at night. So I sacrificed a place to put pinball. But I mean, if I didn't park my car inside the garage, I could have 10 machines in there. So, the car would just go outside and like blister in the Australian sun. And then I could have a 10 pinball machine garage if I wanted to. Like big row of machines down the middle, back to back.
Yeah, which led me to my next question for him was like, so does it only have to be wide body Gottliebs, or would you possibly put in eventually a Williams, a Bally, something other?
I have a Bally Lost World, which is a 1978, just like pretty much turn of the Solid State era game. Very simple, fun game. That's on location at the moment, and it actually earns pretty well for the age of the machine. I did have a Williams Pokerino, and it just wasn't for me. Like
I wasn't impressed with when you showed it. Like I looked it up and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like it was such an interesting game, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't flip right. So it actually went to someone who's doing amazing stuff in sort of like rural Australia, like not outback Australia, but like in a more sort of rural country town setting. And they're setting up this whole pinball dojo concept where they're going to use machines like that needed a bit of work to actually show kids how to actually repair and restore electronic equipment, which happens to be pinball. So I sort of sold that one to them specifically, which meant some money came in. I had a little bit of money lying around. I had some savings there that I just put into like a couple of $100 each month into this sort of rolling pinball fund. And I went, oh, these two came up, and I went, well, I have to have them. But to your question, if I would consider having Bally Williams stuff in there, I would, but it would have to be 90s equipment.
Okay.
And it would need to be probably a DMD of some description, I think, because when I buy a machine so it's played publicly. So I would buy a DMD that I knew BPAC would want to take on for a tournament. So it would help them fill out their DMD era collection, because it's always hard for them to find people willing to offer their DMD Bally Williams tables, obviously, for competition play, because they get hammered. So I would consider doing that to help the collective come time for tournament. But I realized by owning an old Williams System 4 and a Bally MPU that I just really like Gottlieb's more. So
Heresy.
if I'm buying, I like Gottlieb's more, mainly because they are indestructible.
They are built like tanks. Right. Yeah, no doubt about that.
They are built like tanks. They just run and run and run, basically. And when you put new stuff in them and actually give them essentially as close to new factory as you can, they behave like a new factory game, and they last forever on site. Like, you're replacing a Bally Williams flipper linkage every, 500 to 1,000 plays. My games have done 3 times that, and the flipper linkages, I have not touched them. So they are just built different, and they're built strong.
I also joked, or we were joking. I said, but what about a Data East? And then we just laughed, because they are not they are not built indestructible.
They actually weren't terrible.
No, but there was a when you walked up to one and you put your hands on it and you flipped, it just didn't feel as solid as a Williams, a Bally, as an old Gottlieb. Correct. There's something hollow about them.
It shows you the importance of how that flipper mech functions.
Yeah, really does.
It really does. The flipper feel and the flipper sound is a direct... I think people associate that with quality more than probably any other part on the machine. If the flipper feels good, and this is the thing why Gottlieb's are amazing, because their flippers are like funky, chunky. They sound like there's a much bigger coil in them than there actually is, because that era only runs 24-volt coils, not 50. And they just feel good when they're tuned right. They've got a really nice tone to them, and you feel like you're just whacking away on this big, heavy object, which you are, because they are tanks. And BPAC hate it whenever they go, I just got to go and pick up Jared's games now. Like, bloody Gottlieb's. Trying to shift these things around. But so, yeah, these games are both playable. I still... You know me. When I get a game, they have to meet certain standards that I have, and I will. Even though the flippers aren't terrible at the moment, I probably will at least replace all the high voltage contacts in the flippers, and maybe some bushes. Although they're actually in pretty good condition. Like, I probably wouldn't necessarily need to, but it just resets everything back to like a base state, which is important for Haunted House, because the owner of Netherworld has already indicated that he wants that on the floor. It's like, he says, it's like my absolute grail game. And he goes, so when that's ready to your level of doneness, it's going on the floor at Netherworld. So that's like a very big compliment to pay to a game.
Yeah.
Because you don't get into Netherworld that easily as far as like games on loan. There's a few people who do have games from the community in there, but like they're all new in box. Straight, literally, they get them delivered to Netherworld.
Oh, geez.
They own them, but they get them delivered to Netherworld and put them on site immediately. Wow. There's a couple of really amazing folk here in Queensland that do that for the community, so that we can play these amazing, like, Barrels of Fun June on location.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So incredible.
It's funny because, and I told Jared this too, I go, I am not a fan of Haunted House at all.
No, you hate.
I really
you hate mini playfields. It's got 3 of them. What's the two of them?
Well, okay. Let's delve into that a little bit. It's usually the upper playfields that I'm not a fan of. But Haunted House is less about that upper playfield being annoying and more about the, what is it, on the right side? If you went to try and capture the ball, it just rolls right down the drain because there's no backstop to it.
That's right.
Is that correct? Yeah. So I hate that.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much scissor flippers, but with the scissor flippers with a stop. So you can sort of trap it, but you got to be careful about how you trap it.
Yeah. I don't care for the sounds. I don't know. Just everything about it bugs me. And the funny thing is Haunted House legitimatately is one of the 3 pinball machines I can remember playing in high school. Like, we went down to this place in down here in Southern California. There's a beach called Newport Beach. Right next to it is Balboa. Balboa had Balboa Fun Zone, which was 2 different arcades. And when I went there, we're talking like 1988, 89, somewhere around there. And I specifically remember playing for the first time Bonsai Run, Haunted House, Comet, and then we played a ton of Ivan Iron Man Stewart racing. That's what sticks out to my mind of going there. And then we used to go there other times to play other pinball that would arrive there. But my sole goal with Haunted House obviously was to get to that lower playfield. Yes. Now, between Black Hole and Haunted House, I'm sorry, but Black Hole's lower playfield rules. I think it's way more fun.
There's a lot more to do down there. You got drop targets to hit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And man, so this is the way I slice up the two, right? So you've got Haunted House. It's a 1-ball game with lots of play fields. Okay. Black Hole is a 3-ball multi-ball with less play fields, but more stuff on the lower play field to interact with.
And I love multi-ball.
So it's interesting to see with that era of board, the PI-80, which was with the System 80, which is what they called it in Gottlieb, which was using Z80 chips, from that era because they were readily available and cheap-ish. The programming they could do was either multi-ball or single ball and more things. And I still don't know how they've managed to put as much stuff in Haunted House as they have. It gets around the problem, I think, with a judicious use of a relay that switches the logic over when it drops down to the lower playfield, and it switches over to the mechanisms down there. So they've essentially got an overloaded set of switches that activate when this relay switches over to the bottom set of playfields or something like that. Because there's no extra door. I don't think there's any extra door to board. There's a driver for the light show and everything and the flashes, but I don't think there's an extra board that's added on inside there. Because it's all self-contained on the PA-80. So that is interesting to me from just a nerd perspective, because it's like there's so RIP me, there's 8 flippers on on Haunted House. And there's 5 flippers on Black Hole, but on Black Hole there's 7 pop bumpers.
Yeah, Black Hole's got a ton of pop bumpers.
It's got a ton of everything on it. So they've taken all the upper and lower coils and they've reassigned them to pop bumpers and drop targets and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just a target rich environment.
With 8 flippers, Haunted House almost has enough to qualify as a Magic Pixel Zaccaria table, a deluxe table.
To understand. Yeah, the thing about that, as far as a rule set goes, Haunted House, it isn't a difficult rule set. It behaves pretty much like any other Gottlieb System 80. It's just the way you get to the features. You have to go down to the bottom playfield to activate things in the top playfield, and likewise in the top playfield to turn things on elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like a super wide playfield if you think about it, with all the extra playfield surface area you've got, but all jammed into like 3 levels. So think of something like Star Race, which is ultra wide playfield, and trying to work those zones or those areas into that playfield, and you kind of see what they were probably going for, if you look at how everything goes. But like that playfield underneath the main playfield, it's huge. It comes on this massive slide out plate, basically, that you can lift up and put onto a stop so you can service it. The thing is huge. It takes up half of the cabinet space underneath the playfield.
The glass isn't over that. It's not a magnifier either, is it?
No, it's not.
No,
it's just
because I think I'm trying to think, because I've played both Kroll and Loch Ness Monster, two very, very, very rare machines.
Yeah, I've never played Kroll.
And I don't remember which one of the two it was a magnifier. So it magnified what was happening underneath.
No, these are just straight perspex.
See, the reason why I don't mind a midfield or the lower playfield is because it's just taking up that space that's on the playfield that you wouldn't have anything there anyway. Whereas an upper playfield takes up real estate that you could potentially be shooting on.
Yeah, but what it does in this case is it actually allows them to put more stuff up there on an elevated plane than they would have been able to do down the bottom, because they can allow for, they got a bank of drop targets up there. They got a bank of stand-up targets and 2 flippers. So putting all that down on the bottom would mean that they'd have to make sacrifices about how the ball traveled. They have to put like something there. So by having it elevated, they can do a lot more stuff there and still like put in the sort of interactions they want. So it's an incredible piece of engineering. Like, if you just accept it for what it is, as an incredible piece of engineering for the era, that is, I think, one of the last years that Gottlieb did the System 80 board set. So I think it's 1982, 1983, I think. It just snuck into 1983. And then they went to System, let's say 3.
And see, I also will say that there are machines that I enjoy let's call the upper playfield. Medusa, I think it's a great upper playfield. I mean, the table is 2 halves, but I think that the upper is great. Also, there's a game called Vector that I really enjoy. That upper, that's an old Bally. So there are upper playfields that I get a kick out of. With the lower playfield, I'm going to swing this back around to that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles title.
Oh, yeah.
So I got it because people were like, "Oh, it's phenomenal. It's really great." And I'm like, "All right, I'll give Magic Pixel another chance." And the same stupid bubble font popped up for the scoring. I'm like, "Oh God, here we go again." They apparently got one of the actual voices from the cartoon to do the voice, the call-outs.
Oh.
But nothing is iconic about what's being called out. It's just the generic...
Oh, they're scripted call-outs that they do for all of their games.
Yeah, and they're just so... And it's just like, it's the lamest cowabunga, dude. I mean, like, there's no passion behind it. There's no acting.
Literally, the dude was phoning it in.
Pretty much. He was like, what'd they do? Hire him on, I forget what
Fiverr.
There's that program where Cameo.
Cameo or Fiverr.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, I can forgive all that. You've got this lower playfield. Let me play this lower playfield. And it is one of those shots that in order to access the lower playfield, it's all the way on the side down low, so it's off the flipper tip to get it in there, for starters. So really annoying. I finally get it into the lower playfield, and I kid you not, Jared, I was there for 5 seconds. I hit all of the bank targets. They're not drop targets, they're bank targets. Just flip, 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 hit them all. Once you hit them all, it kills your flipper, drains it, and now you're back up to the upper playfield. I'm like, I spent all that time and effort trying to get to this damn thing, and then you prevent me from being in it. Whereas, again, Black Hole, you can spend an eternity in that bottom playfield if you know what you're doing,
And it's meaningful.
It's
when you're
meaningful
down there because you've got to complete that target bank, otherwise you die.
Yeah, and then I was playing.
Meaning to it.
Zen did Might of the First Order, and they've got that lower playfield, and
that's a great.
Great lower playfield. It's challenging and it's tough, and you can
awesome.
spend some time in there. But
awesome.
I have a problem, and granted, all we have to do is talk about V12 or Tesla. Zen has made some shots also that are like, why is the main mode hole so incredibly difficult to get? Why are you just killing me on this? And I've been playing a lot on the AtGames. We've got Bride of Pinball that recently had put it. And Bride is the epitome of a one-ramp game. That's you're just shooting that same damn ramp over and over and over again. No matter
what platform you play on, even in real life, it is still a one-ramp game.
But the thing is it's got that, I can get it next time aspect to it.
Like the billion. Yeah, the billion.
Oh, my God.
It's what you want.
It is a game that I get so much sweaty palm on. It's ridiculous.
For such a simple
thing.
Game.
But because shooting that ramp, it's a wide ramp, you should be able to just blast that, and for some reason you can't. And it's still challenging. And so I hate when there's this false challenge that gets put into, and it seems to be only digital games. It's never in an actual real life table that this is a factor.
If it was in a real life table, no one would put their quarters in.
No.
Because they go, this sucks. I can't do anything on it.
Yeah. And so I hate it when these digital designers, and Zen has gotten a lot better about this, but Magic Pixel is still doing this, where you're putting in false difficulty. You're making it difficult just because you're like, whoa, let's just do some crazy playfield layout.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I'm saying is I was not impressed by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at all.
TLDR, not impressed.
No.
Would you, if you had to rate it out of, let's say 5, what would you rate it out of?
Is 2 too harsh? 2 might be too.
I was going to say, it sounds like a 2 to me.
2 might be.
Maybe if you
I want to give it a 3, but I've also literally, after the first 2 days of having it, haven't touched it since.
Right.
So that also tells you a lot. Instead, because at the same time, okay, so now granted, I was gifted these. I was gifted that. I was gifted Firefighter, I think, which is a Magic Pixel original, and Baby Shark. Baby Shark can burn and die. There's so much aesthetically unpleasing about that. It's ridiculous.
Does it make you want to go and play My Little Pony immediately?
Well, My Little Pony quality table.
Yeah, it is very good.
The more equivalent that you would compare it to in terms of aesthetic annoyance is Trolls.
Oh, Trolls, yes. That's what I was thinking of.
But
yes.
Trolls is a much better table. Much better.
Okay. Just is a lot.
Just because the gameplay is better on Trolls. It still is annoying sounds and annoying art, but at least the gameplay is better. Baby Shark, it doesn't even have that. And they have 2 modes. They have Baby Shark mode, which basically means you're not going to drain a ball, and Papa Shark mode, which is, okay, now there's an actual somewhat challenge to it. Like, the ball save doesn't last for 4 minutes. That kind of thing. No, but I have played the Firefighter table. That one actually was of interest. It was a little more interesting to me. I put in some time to that. But it still suffers from a lot of the Magic Pixel coding issues. Where it's like, come on, guys, you got to do better than this. It's not... the entire table can't devolve into nothing but combo shots. And then, you started a mode, and now you got to hit this ramp, this ramp, this ramp. Okay, now we start the next mode, and guess what? It's hit this ramp, this ramp, this ramp.
Yeah.
It's just
very
it's
much
just boring.
They're taking too many cues from Data East coding.
Yeah.
And shot making as well.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they just need to innovate a little bit more. It's a shame because like visually they look interesting. Like if you were to walk up to one of these games and have a look at it, you go, wow, there's a lot going on here.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like if you're using the same analogy as like what Stern was doing at one point where they release a game essentially as a shell with some basic code that allows you to flip it and then build on the code as they iterate. Like, Batman 66 was a great example of this. Hot Garbage, when it came out, one of the best games from a rule perspective now, with the code updates. So it's a shame that they don't go, okay, well, here's the thing. And now that we've got, I don't know, a different way of programming, we're going to go back through all the games and do a code update.
Yeah.
And actually do that. So that would make it better, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, what else is going on? We're now going to go into a speed round of topics, Jared.
Well, I just want to say that on the Gottlieb topic as well, the other thing is that these games do have the old Rockwell gas plasma displays in them.
Ooh.
And they are, one of them I think has failed and it took out a fuse. So I thought, that's cool. Straight on the internet for Wolf Tech. So going to build the displays. Here they are. Well, there's more parts than this, obviously. But, just throw them in. That's fine. But like anything, there's more flippers, and also there's more displays in these games than any other Gottlieb. So there's 4 for the back glass, 1 for the score, and 1 for the mini playfield. So I've got to build 12 displays from kit to replace all these displays. So that's a Christmas holidays job.
There you go.
And I realized that normally I will go downstairs, set the soldering station up, and do it downstairs in the garage. But it's summer here in Brisbane, and it's hot and gross. But I could just bring it up here to the studio with the air conditioning on, and sit in with the instructions up on my screen, and do it in comfort up here. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Probably with a beer, because I'm going to nip. Yeah.
Though I was going to say, of the AtGames Gottlieb tables that are available that Farsight half-assed put out onto there, I have half the Gottlieb packs. I do not have the pack that has Haunted House in it. I did get the one that has Black Hole. And I'm not a fan of the presentation that they did of it, but I'm a fan of playing Black Hole occasionally. That's one of those that if and when I do VPX, I'll have a proper version to play rather than that mess that's in there.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Version.
Okay, so quick update on the Star Wars cab. All my parts arrived. I was all excited. I loaded up the computer with the new stuff. I was like, yes, it's all going to work. And I got my larger hard drive. I was like, sweet. I've got my gold leaf flipper buttons in, so I'm going to install those. And I go to download Steam. I do it, and up pops Steam, and across the top it says, notice, Steam will no longer be supporting the 32-bit version of games in 15 days, so basically January 1st. And I went, why is that notice up there? Uh-oh. And it turns out I've got a 32-bit version of Windows in this computer, which, okay, I was like, well, so I'll just upgrade to 64. And then I was told, whoa, pump the brakes there, sailor. Because
exactly.
Your drivers might not be compatible with the 64-bit. And when we say drivers, we mean drivers that are making all of my solenoids function. So
maybe they're working.
I've got a bit of a problem that we're trying to troubleshoot and see if I can make all nice and happy. So I thought I was going to be like, sweet, this is going to be good. Boom. put this in.
Whack the new hardware in. Tickety boo. Let's go.
Let's go. No.
No. Is
So
it like when you get something that's like, what is it now? 7 years old?
it was
Or
manufactured in 2017.
okay, so like
And if you figure it's
yeah,
manufactured in
9.
2017, the boards and stuff that were being used are probably older. And
Probably.
and I have a crazy theory. I think I shared it with you, Jared.
Mm.
If you all remember our conversations with Arcuda Pinball, there was one conversation where they were a little bit hot and bothered because we were like, hey, where the heck is your cab? How come it hasn't released yet? And they were saying, well, we sent the plans to China, and then China promptly stole the designs for our boards, and they got installed in another machine, and we saw that machine at an expo. They didn't name the machine, but the timing works out, I feel, to be this very machine from Pinball Factory.
Wow.
Because they said it was made in America, which Pinball Factory did. It assembled here, although the parts are all from China. The guts are. And so I'm like, I wonder. I almost want to call Arcuda and take a picture and go, hey, does this look familiar? Do you still have the drivers for these?
Honestly, I was going to say, you should contact Arcuda and go, oh, I got one of these. No, have seen anything here? Particularly the very nice kid xylophone that's inside the machine.
God.
That's like, I don't even know what's going on there.
It acts as a chime. There are 4 solenoids on the other side of the solenoid thing. It's just hard to get a camera in there, and they do fire up and they can activate the chimes. I just don't know why I want that when those are the ones that are supposed to be firing the slingshot and the pop bumper. So
I don't understand.
I'm sure I'm going to remove the kid's xylophone and put in a hard stop so there's an actual thunk.
A block of wood would be
yes.
Nice.
But
that's a good xylophone.
That's a problem that we'll get to after this other.
Let's just get Steam installed and upgraded to Windows 64-bit, Windows 11, so we can use that. I wonder if, even though Windows 10 is out of life now, I wonder if going to Windows, because it'd be running Windows 7 at the moment.
No, it's running Windows 10.
So even if you went Windows,
I wouldn't be able to go to Windows 11. It's the motherboard's too old. It can't do it.
Yeah, right. It wouldn't be able to secure boot, which is what you need for Windows. Yeah. So you're going to Windows 10 regardless.
Well, it's already got Windows 10 Pro installed.
You just need to put Windows 10.
I just need the 64-bit version of it.
Yeah, how are you going to get service packs now? They're not actually offering them.
Well, I mean, they're there. They just don't support anything anymore. You know what I mean? So, like, I just upgraded. The computer did a full download of basically all the final security updates for Windows that it can handle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's got all of that.
It got so it's not like they've cut off Windows 10 from the update program.
It's just they're not going to have any more updates going forward.
Okay, well then you'll be fine as far as getting the latest service pack, so it's as up to date as it is as a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
So I think, look, upgrading from 32 to 64, Windows is known for its backwards compatibility in 32-bit mode,
which is what people tell me.
So I reckon, with caution, I think you'll be okay, providing you do what you are going to do and do a full image of the drive, literally a clone.
Yeah, cloning, not an image, but a clone of the drive.
Yeah. If you do that and you go over a restore point, then like a hard restore point, you just swap the other drive in and you're good. Then you should be all right. So yeah, I reckon it'll be okay in 64-bit mode. I don't think you're going to have too much trouble. I'd be surprised if you did.
Yeah.
But
we'll see. Fingers crossed.
The other thing we're trying to do is, Zen does have some docs lying around somewhere for this. So they're trying to, like, we haven't asked them yet because it's like shut down and all that sort of stuff over there. But eventually we will try, and there are some people on staff still that were involved in the project apparently. So there might be some hope if we run into trouble.
Because ideally, if I can get a hold of whoever programmed this originally, I would love to. The playfield doesn't keystone like it does if you go into cabinet mode yourself.
Oh.
Right. So this, much like what they did for AtGames, where it's just straight overhead shot, that's the same thing that is with this. So there's that aspect. And then they also, instead of a static backglass image, it is, call it a flyover image of the table as you're playing it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So I would love to have that be applied to the entire, at least, Pinball Effects 2 catalog.
Yeah.
Because this is all Pinball Effects 2. This is what it was coded. So I imagine there's a way of doing that and getting it functional that way. So I think that would be fun to at least have that.
Unlock.
Yeah, so it's not just Star Wars.
It seems like in the cabinet there's some sort of software layer that lets them select what games are on the carousel, because I think they were doing 3 titles at a time.
That was for Pinball Effects, but for the Star Wars one, all 19 are available on the carousel. So just I'm looking for my notes here on this. When I went digging in the files, trying to find anything or whatever, I did find something. It says Pinball Effects Controller. And then Pinball Effects Output version 1.2. And so I have a feeling that's the Zen custom stuff.
Yeah, that'll be the secret sauce.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
So that's what you need the docs for.
Yeah.
And you need probably someone to get on from Zen who knows what that is to get on a call with you and actually walk you through stuff to get the thing activated.
Because and I've said this in the videos, I can't even figure out how to adjust the sound settings for raising up the sound effects of the table, the physical effects, lowering down the voice, then the vocal call-outs. I can't balance anything at the moment. I can't adjust the sensitivity of the accelerometer, which I wildly need to do. So I can find the notepad that says what the settings are currently at, but I'm like, do I just change the notepad settings, or is there something else somewhere that does this? I don't know.
Is the notepad like a config file that it's reading from? Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So that's where I need to talk to somebody from Zen to figure that stuff out. But last little bit of quick notes. I did go and see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair.
Oh yeah. How was it?
I was disappointed.
Are you really?
Well, and this is entirely on me. It's nothing against the movie. It's Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 combined.
It's amazing.
There's nothing, and I saw it on the big screen again. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
The additional changes, there's in the anime sequence with Orenishi, it starts with her when she's 7 years old, and then it jumps to when she's like 21, I think. There's a segment where she's 13, and she does another kill in that. It's about a 7-minute addition to that whole sequence. So that's what that got added in. Truthfully, you can see why they cut it out. It's not important to advance her particular story. It's more just like, hey, here's some more interesting backstory. That's about it. And then, of course, the whole tea house fight is in color, no black and white whatsoever. So it looks really cool. That it's the way it should have been. But what I was hoping for was some kind of re-editing, some kind of, I don't know, just the two films not being complete separate halves, but at some point, something from the second film was where it was in the first film, and kind of dancing about editing-wise, or at least some more deleted scenes. There is nothing in Kill Bill 2 added or changed. It's the same movie. So all the changes were with those two sequences in Kill Bill 1.
One.
And then all they did for Kill Bill 2 was they eliminated the opening thing of Uma basically recounting what happened in the first film, because there's no point in having that, right? So I built this thing up in my head as this is going to be fantastic and all the things that I'm hoping for. And that was when this first released in, 2003, 4, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had all this time to think about it, and in that meantime, I've seen all of Quentin's previous movies since and realized, no, he puts out exactly what he wants, and he never has deleted scenes, so why should there have been in this? So
yeah, when you think about it.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's entirely my own fault for being disappointed in something that I should have never expected to have been that way to begin with. But
this is very much how I felt about going and seeing Interstellar 5555 with the 4K upscale.
Right. Yeah.
That was like, I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That being said, when this comes out on Blu-ray, because I have not bought Kill Bill on Blu-ray because I was specifically waiting for them to one day put out the whole bloody affair. That's...
You'll get it.
Yeah.
It makes narrative sense, like having them back to back. Yeah, so why not have it presented like that?
Yeah. So, all right. That's all we got for you this time, folks. When we come back from the new year, I think we are going to do our speculation episode about what Zan has planned for the upcoming year. Unless, Jared, do you have another idea that we might touch upon?
Oh, well, there's going to be the usual stuff and things.
Oh, yeah, those.
I like speculation,
All right, folks. That's 2025 for you. We'll see you in 2026. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. See ya. Bye-bye.